Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair and felt like your legs just weren't quite there to catch you? Maybe it takes a few extra seconds now. Maybe there's a stiffness in your knees or a strange heaviness in your thighs that never used to be there. You might chalk it up to age. And yes, the years play their part. But what if I told you that something as innocent-looking as the fruit on your breakfast plate might be quietly stealing your leg strength, bite by bite? Now I know, it sounds a little far-fetched, right? Fruit is supposed to be healthy. For decades, we've been told to eat more of it, not less. Doctors said it, magazines printed it, and we passed that same advice on to our kids and grandkids. And don't get me wrong, some fruits are absolutely wonderful for your body, packed with antioxidants, fiber, and hydration. But not all fruits are created equal, especially when your body starts going through the changes that come with life after 60. See, as we get older, the way our bodies handle sugar, acid, and even certain plant compounds starts to shift. What you ate easily at 30 without thinking twice can now stir up trouble, especially in your joints, your muscles, and yes, your legs. That subtle weakness in your knees, that occasional pain in your calves, or the way you seem to tire out quicker when walking upstairs. These might not just be aging. They could be signals. Signals your body is giving you, telling you it's time to look a little closer at what's landing on your plate. So today, let's talk about 7 fruits that many older adults are still eating, thinking they're making a smart choice, when in fact, those choices might be silently making leg strength harder to hold on to. And don't worry, this won't be about fear or guilt. This is about awareness and simple shifts that can bring back comfort, energy, and control to your daily movement. Let's start with one that often surprises people. The banana. Now I get it. Bananas are delicious. They're soft, easy to chew, and often feel like the perfect snack, especially if your appetite isn't what it used to be. They're even marketed as a source of potassium, which is good for muscle function. But here's the part most folks don't know. Bananas are also extremely high in natural sugars and can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels. For someone with aging muscles and slower circulation, this sugar spike may be followed by a crash, leaving you feeling weaker, not stronger. Even worse, for seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or blood pressure issues, bananas can throw off your balance without warning. That light-headed feeling you sometimes get? The weakness after eating something healthy? That might be your body struggling with sugar overload. And over time, that strain adds up, especially in the legs, where circulation tends to slow down first. The muscle fibers that used to recover quickly now take longer, and that nagging stiffness in your calves might be the price. And it's not just bananas. Let's talk about grapes. They're small, sweet, and often seen as a safe snack. But grapes are tiny sugar bombs. One small handful can pack as much sugar as a candy bar, without any of the fiber needed to slow that sugar down. For your legs, that sugar can be a hidden enemy. It feeds inflammation, tightens blood vessels, and over time, can lead to a sluggish feeling that's hard to shake. Inflammation is a big word, but here's how it shows up in real life. Aching knees after a walk, swelling around the ankles at night, or that strange burning sensation in your lower legs when you've been on your feet too long. Sugar feeds all of it. And the more your body has to fight inflammation, the more energy it pulls away from your muscles, and the less strength you feel when you need it most. Let me share something from a conversation I had just last week. A lovely woman named Gloria, 77 years young, told me she'd been snacking on grapes every night while watching TV. She thought it was better than cookies. But she also said her legs started to feel heavy, like walking across the living room was becoming a chore. When she cut back on the grapes and added more fiber-rich foods like berries and avocado, she noticed a difference in just a couple of weeks. Less swelling, easier movement, more confidence when getting up. Now I'm not saying grapes are evil, but they're not helping you the way you might think. especially if you're not balancing them out with foods that support your blood sugar and your joints. And when it comes to your legs, the very foundation of your independence, you deserve better than good enough. You deserve foods that work with your body, not against it. Which brings me to another sneaky culprit: pineapple. Yes, pineapple. It's bright, tropical, and tastes like a summer day. Some even say it helps with inflammation because of bromelain, a compound in fresh pineapple. But here's the thing: pineapple is one of the most acidic fruits out there. And as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to that acid, especially in areas where wear and tear have built up over time, like your knees, hips, and lower back. That acid can irritate the tissues around your joints. It can make already sore muscles feel tighter. If you've ever had a mystery flare-up in your knee after a seemingly good meal, pineapple might have been part of the picture. Again, it's not about blaming the fruit. It's about listening to your body and understanding which foods make it harder to feel steady and strong. That twinge you feel when standing up. That slight wobble when stepping off the curb. Those signals matter. What's beautiful about this stage of life is the wisdom you carry. You know your body better than anyone else. And while we can't turn back time, we can make choices today that help you move with more freedom tomorrow. Sometimes, it starts with something as simple as swapping the fruit in your bowl. Now that we've taken a closer look at bananas, grapes, and pineapple, you might already be connecting the dots. Maybe something you eat regularly has been dragging you down more than lifting you up. And if so, that's a powerful realization, not a problem. Because now, you're in a position to do something about it. You know, it's incredible how just becoming aware of a few small choices can open up a whole new level of freedom in your body. When you realize that something as innocent as your favorite fruit salad might be making it harder to climb the stairs or stand up without help, it can feel frustrating at first. But here's the good news. That moment of realization is also the first step to change. And change, even small change, can bring surprising results. Let's keep going, because there are still a few more fruits that might be quietly sabotaging your strength. One of them: dried fruits. Think raisins, dried apricots, prunes, and even those cute little packets of dried cranberries. Now don't get me wrong. These snacks are convenient, they don't spoil fast, and they feel like a smart alternative to cookies or chips. But here's where they become tricky. Dried fruits are super concentrated with sugar. When a fruit is dried, all the water is removed, but the sugar remains. So what was once a handful of juicy grapes is now a condensed handful of sugar-packed raisins. That means even a small serving can flood your system with natural sugars, which spike your blood sugar levels and fuel inflammation. Over time, that can increase joint pain, stiffness, and muscle fatigue, especially in the legs, where circulation slows and swelling often shows up first. I had a gentleman named Carl reach out to me recently. He's 72, active, loves walking his dog every morning, and swore by a mid-morning trail mix with dried fruit. But lately, his legs were aching more, and his ankles seemed puffier than usual by lunchtime. When he switched to a snack with fresh cucumber slices and a boiled egg instead, he noticed less swelling and felt steadier on his feet during those daily walks. It wasn't a dramatic diet overhaul, just one smart shift. And it made all the difference. Another fruit that might be doing more harm than good, especially for older adults? Oranges. I know, this one can be hard to hear. Oranges are iconic. They're often tied to immune health and that classic glass of orange juice at breakfast. But the truth is, oranges are very acidic. And while they do contain vitamin C, the acid can irritate your joints, your digestive system, and even trigger inflammatory responses that settle in your legs and hips. Orange juice, in particular, is even worse. Most store-bought juices remove the fiber entirely, leaving behind a sugary, acidic drink that hits your bloodstream fast. That kind of spike and crash pattern wears down your body's ability to regulate energy. And for your muscles, that means more fatigue, slower recovery, and less reliable strength when you need to stand or move quickly. It's not about avoiding all citrus forever, but if your knees feel stiff in the morning or your calves ache after standing for a while, cutting back on orange juice or replacing it with a glass of lemon water might be worth trying. Sometimes, it's the smallest shift that gives your body the biggest relief. Let's talk about another one, and this one might be on your kitchen counter right now. Apples. I know. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? That's the saying we've all grown up hearing. But for some older adults, especially those with sensitive digestion or blood sugar concerns, apples can be problematic. The skins are often hard to digest. The fruit itself is surprisingly high in fructose, and the crunch that once felt satisfying can now feel uncomfortable if you have dental issues or a slower gut. Fructose, the sugar found in apples and many other fruits, is processed differently in your body. In small amounts, it's okay, but large doses can overwhelm your liver, increase inflammation, and make your muscles more prone to fatigue. That feeling of dragging your feet or not having the same spring in your step, it can be connected to how your body is handling the food you eat. Apples aren't bad for everyone, but if you've noticed bloating, gas, or a dip in your energy after a snack, they might not be the golden ticket anymore. And let's be honest, it's frustrating when something that used to be healthy now feels like it's working against you. But here's the powerful truth. Your body isn't failing you. It's just evolving. And it needs a little more support, a little more gentleness, and a lot more intention. The same way you've adapted through every season of life, raising families, navigating careers, adjusting to new routines, you can adapt your nutrition too. And this time, it's all about protecting your strength, your independence, and your freedom to move comfortably. At this stage of life, your legs matter more than ever. They carry you through every precious moment, whether it's hugging your grandchildren, tending your garden, dancing in the kitchen, or simply walking out to check the mail on a sunny day. And every bite you take can either build up that strength, or quietly take it away. That's not meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. Let me share a story with you. A woman named Linda, in her mid-60s, wrote me an email after watching one of our videos. She said she'd always loved apples and orange juice, had them almost daily. But after learning more about how those foods could affect her joint health and leg strength, she started experimenting. She switched to lower-sugar anti-inflammatory options, like blueberries, chia pudding, and a morning green smoothie. After a few weeks, she noticed something surprising. She could stand longer while cooking dinner. Her knees weren't aching after walking around the grocery store, and she felt steadier on her feet, like her balance had improved. Now, did she reverse time? No. But she tuned in. She made thoughtful choices. And those small choices created a ripple effect that gave her more confidence in her body. That's what this is really about. Not perfection, not strict rules, but giving yourself the tools to feel stronger and steadier every single day. The more we understand our own needs, the better we can support our body. And sometimes, the most powerful changes start with asking a simple question. How does this food make me feel afterward? If the answer is bloated, stiff, tired, or weak, your body might be telling you something. And if you're willing to listen, the benefits can be truly life-changing. When we start to pay attention to how our bodies respond, it's almost like we're having a conversation with ourselves, one that's been waiting to happen for years. And while some of the answers might surprise us, they also give us the freedom to make decisions that support the life we truly want to live. Now, let's talk about one more fruit that might seem harmless on the outside, but can quietly drain your energy and weaken those precious legs of yours. Mangoes. Sweet, juicy, tropical. Mangoes feel like a vacation in every bite. But here's the thing. They're incredibly high in natural sugar and, depending on your sensitivity, they can send your blood sugar soaring. That spike might feel like a burst of energy at first, but it's usually followed by a crash. And when your energy dips that hard, your muscles suffer. You feel heavier, slower, and more unstable, especially in your lower body. Mangoes also have a lot of fructose, which, like we talked about earlier, is harder for your body to process in large amounts. If your liver is already working hard and your metabolism has slowed a bit with age, those mango slices might be putting extra pressure on your system. And when your body is overloaded, it's not focusing on keeping your muscles strong, it's focusing on damage control. A woman I recently spoke with named Teresa shared something that really stuck with me. She's 68, used to enjoy mango smoothies every morning, until she started feeling like her legs just couldn't keep up with her anymore. She'd walk into the kitchen, and her knees would feel like jelly. She started cutting back on the mango, replaced it with a small serving of Greek yogurt and berries, and within a month, she said she felt like someone had pumped air into her legs again. Her words, not mine. But what a beautiful way to describe that sense of lightness and ease coming back. It's moments like that, where one small change leads to a big result, that remind us just how adaptable the body really is. No matter your age, your body is still listening, still responding, and still capable of bouncing back. There's just one more fruit I want to mention, and this one catches a lot of people off guard. Bananas. Now before you throw yours out the window, hear me out. Bananas are a tricky one because they do have potassium, which is important for muscle function. But they're also high in starch and sugar, especially the really ripe ones. That combination can mess with your blood sugar levels, trigger inflammation, and even worsen leg cramps if your body isn't absorbing nutrients efficiently. What's worse is that many people eat bananas when they're already feeling sluggish, thinking it'll give them a healthy energy boost. But the opposite often happens, because while you do get a quick sugar rush, it doesn't last. And when the energy drops again, your legs pay the price. You feel wobbly, unsteady, like walking to the mailbox takes more effort than it should. I had a viewer tell me her balance was off every afternoon. She kept a banana in her purse to snack on, thinking it was helping. But once she swapped that banana for half an avocado with a sprinkle of salt, something with more healthy fats and less sugar, she found her afternoons felt smoother, her legs less shaky, and her mood more even. Isn't that something? Now, this isn't to say you need to fear fruit altogether. Fruit can absolutely be part of a healthy, vibrant life, especially fruits that are lower in sugar and higher in fiber, like berries. But the real takeaway here is to be aware. Don't let the label, healthy, fool you. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's working in your favor, especially not when it comes to your strength, your joints, or your legs. At this stage in life, strength is gold. And not just the kind you build at the gym, but the strength to move around your house freely. The strength to get in and out of the car without struggling. The strength to enjoy your hobbies, take walks with your loved ones, and feel steady every time you stand up. That's the kind of strength we're protecting here. And food, yes, even fruit, can either help or hurt that mission. I want to take a moment here and remind you of something important. Your health is not about restriction. It's about empowerment. You're not giving things up. You're choosing things that serve you better, that give you life, not take it away, that help you feel more like you again. Every one of us deserves to feel confident in our body, to trust our legs to carry us without fear, to walk into a room, go for a stroll, or bend down to pick up a grandchild without wondering if we'll need a moment to recover. And if swapping a mango or skipping a banana means your steps feel lighter, your knees feel freer, and your balance returns, that's a trade worth making. And you're not alone in this journey. Thousands of people just like you are having these aha moments every day. They're learning, adjusting, experimenting, not because someone told them they had to, but because they wanted to feel good again. And you can, too. If any of this resonated with you, I encourage you to take a moment today, maybe right after this video, open your fridge or pantry, and take a second look at what's in there. Ask yourself not, is this healthy? But, is this helping me stay strong, energized, and mobile? That one question can change everything. And if you've ever felt discouraged or overwhelmed by all the nutrition advice out there, I want you to know, this isn't about getting it perfect. It's about noticing how you feel, one day at a time, making one smarter choice at a time, and trusting that your body, even now, still wants to heal, thrive, and move with ease. You've already taken the first step by being here, listening, and staying open to new information. That's more than most people ever do. So give yourself some credit, and maybe even a little smile, because you're doing something powerful today. You're reclaiming your strength.